But first, they look good. Particularly in the defensive end, did the Golden State Warriors, who won a game that Steve Kerr said looked like it was straight out of 1997. 95-85 was your score. Yes, we're in 2025, and that was a score of an NBA first-round playoff basketball game. So there's a lot of things, there's a lot of reasons why folks picked the Houston Rockets to win the series. Now, Golden State was only the second 7 seed in the last 30 years to be a favorite over a 2 seed in a first-round series, according to Vegas. But I feel like the majority of the media was like, yeah, we like Golden State. They've gone on a good second-half run, post-All-Star break, post-Jimmy trade, all of it. But Houston's young. Houston's athletic. Houston's got a great coach. Like, all these different things. So, it's... The first thing I sort of wanted to address that I saw in this game is what's going to hurt Golden State over the course of the series is offensive rebounds. Houston absolutely annihilated Golden State on the glass. Steven Adams was I think the only Rocket with a positive plus-minus. He destroyed Golden State on that front. Jabari Smith kept shots alive. Şengün did. That's something that Golden State is going to have to address before it's all said and done. That's a real concern for them and something they'll have to overcome. But when it came to the entire defense front, let's start team defense. And then we'll work into the Steph Curry aspect of it. Because you see the title of the show, Golden State or Warriors hit the Curry stoppers in the mouth. The Rockets have been one of the top defenses in basketball over the course of the season. Top 5, I believe, in terms of defensive rating. Golden State Warriors, since the Jimmy Butler trade, since February 8th, when Jimmy made his debut against his old team, the Chicago Bulls, number 1 in defensive rating. And that has been kind of the mantra of all previous Golden State champions, is all of them, I believe, 2018 might have been the exception, but all of them have been top 10 in defensive rating. If you play for Steve Kerr, you better be able to defend. And so if this series looks like it did last night, where it's just a rock fight, it's offensive rebounds, it's missed shots, it's contested shots, it's running the shot clock down, all of it. If the defense cancels each other out, then this will be a quick series, because Golden State obviously has the 2 closers to be able to get the job done in the end, which they did. And I did want to discuss Steph, because I feel like it has been over the course of the last decade. So Steph won his MVP exactly 10 years ago. Ironically, that was also his first series against the Houston Rockets when Golden State gentlemen swept Houston in the conference finals. And I feel like the whole Curry stopper, like, you ever see, you know what the Curry stopper narrative is? It's like that clickbait magazine article you see online. You're scrolling, you're looking at some legitimate news piece from some legitimate outlet, whatever, and you scroll down, you're like, pilot sees mysterious spaceship with foreign, with potential aliens on it. It's like, and then you click it, and there's not much substance at all. It's just kind of hearsay, and I heard somebody say that. That's what the Curry stopper narrative is. Remember back in the day, 10 years ago, Matthew Dellavedova, which God bless Della. He did all he could. He ended up having to go to the hospital in that series because of guarding Steph Curry will do that to a man. But Matthew Dellavedova, he's the Curry stopper. And then a few years ago is Marcus Smart. He's the Curry stopper. He's Defensive Player of the Year. Same coach, by the way, Ime Udoka, who coached the Celtics, who coached these Rockets. And a couple of years ago, I remember it was the young rookie out of Baylor, Davion Mitchell. I'm telling you, he's the Curry stopper. Watch out for him. Dylan Brooks years ago, that was the Curry stopper. Now it's Amen Thompson, who, listen, that kid's future it couldn't be brighter. His athleticism is freakish. His aggressiveness, I love it. He seems to be a coachable kid. That guy is going to be a multi-time All-Star and then some in the future. Amen Thompson is going to be a special player. But year 8, I don't care. But year 2, asking this young kid, hey, guard one of the greatest basketball players ever at the peak of his powers. Because there was a lot of narrative. Well, listen, Amen Thompson, last time the Warriors and Rockets played, held Steph Curry to 3 points, 1 of 10 shooting, April 6th. I remember that game. I remember watching it. That was the Rockets kind of put the Warriors in a spot where they lost 3 out of their last 5 games to end the regular season. It's like, man, Amen Thompson, the Curry stopper. Ime Udoka, maybe he has the plan. Ime Udoka, after that game a couple weeks ago, said, hey, listen, when you get guys frustrating and complaining to refs, that's when you know you've gotten their heads. And as you can see, as we'll show you the numbers here, is a real, they really just shut Steph down. They really shut Jimmy down too, because if you look at their numbers, Steph had 31, Jimmy had 25. Steph had 6 rebounds, Jimmy had 7. Steph had 3 assists, Jimmy had 6. Steph had 1 steal, Jimmy had 5. Okay, they both took 19 shots. Steph made 12, Jimmy made 10. Jimmy doesn't shoot the 3 much, but he made 1 of them, and Steph was 5 for 9, including some just circus shots. And what was one of the things that I talked about coming to the series? My man Arthur Hurst is a witness to it, because he was on the show on Friday for a playoff preview. And shout out to Arthur, he did a great job on the show. One of the things I brought up is, it's the 5th time that Steph and Draymond and Kerr have seen the Houston Rockets in a playoff series. And folks are saying, well, those Houston Rockets, they weren't on those teams. There's no one on this Houston team that was on those teams in between 2015 and 19. That was more like the James Harden / Chris Paul, run. Mike D'Antoni, the cast of characters that are on this Rockets team now was not on that Rockets team. I said, yeah, that's correct. The coach is different, all of it. You know who was there in Houston for that? The fans. The fans have watched the Warriors walk into Houston and blow them out in a game 3 of the conference finals in 2015, and win a game 4 when Steph Curry injures his knee in the first round in 2016, and win a game 7 when their team misses 29 straight 3-pointers, and then win a game 6 the year after in 2019 when Steph goes 0 for in the first half, 33 in the second half. They've seen those things. And did you notice anytime Steph would hit one of those circus shots, the one he hit in the first half was just, Charles Barkley, God bless him. Everybody loves Chuck, but he called it luck. I'm like, Chuck, there's one human being in the history of the world that can make that shot, and we're not surprised. It's that simple. But every time Steph hit one of those daggers, couldn't you just, at least I had the sound on. I'm listening to the game, Kevin Harlan, TNT, and couldn't you just hear the crowd? Steph hits a shot. Just the groan, like, oh boy, we've seen this. Oh, here he goes again. Mama, there go that man. Here we go. We're going to have to deal with this guy again. We can't avoid it. That's a problem for the Houston Rockets moving forward. Also a problem for the Houston Rockets, because I mentioned if the defense cancels each other out, because Golden State's got an elite defense, so does Houston. If that cancels each other out, and this is a low-scoring series where first to 100 wins, then that favors Golden State overwhelmingly, because you're talking about a young team that's generally, you're talking about Şengün, Jalen Green. These guys have never been to the playoffs against a veteran team. Jimmy Butler's nickname is literally Playoff Jimmy. Steph Curry and Draymond Green have won 4 championships, and you see what happened. Once Fred VanVleet finally hit a 3 to cut the lead to 4, this is what happened in the last 2.5 minutes. 11-4 run for the Warriors. They got an offensive rebound. Houston got 0 in the stretch after they crushed the Warriors on the glass. Warriors missed 1 shot. Houston missed 3, rather. And the Warriors committed no turnovers. Houston committed 1. And this, to me, is what makes Golden State so darn scary moving forward. It's why all the way back in early March, after the Super Bowl, I usually take a little bit of a breather, took a 3-week break, came, and obviously I got my finger to the pulse of the sports world. I'm obviously watching my Warriors. And I had said before the year that that Denver was my pick to win the title. And my caveat is, if the Warriors actually got Steph a legitimate all-star co-star, changing my pick to Golden State. And after watching that 3-week stretch of Jimmy and the Warriors, I'm like, oh shoot, this looks like some of those championship teams. Warriors are my pick. And listen, I've been ridiculed for it, but I will gladly accept it because I'm going to be right in the end. Part of the reason why is because we know Steph's the closer. We know Steph is the man. Steph is a clutch player of the year last year. There's no one you'd less rather have in the ball in their hands facing the Golden State Warriors by a long shot than Steph Curry. That 11-4 run to close the game when Houston cut it to 4, and it's like, oh man, this could be something. Maybe the Rockets come back from 23 down. You want to know how many points Steph Curry scored in that 11-4 stretch? Goose egg. Took 1 shot, missed it. That's what Jimmy Butler's there for. That's what the role players who are going to get open looks because of the gravity of Steph and, to a degree, the gravity of Jimmy. Guys like Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody, who had a big 3 to start that 11-4 run. But Jimmy Butler's the catalyst for all of this. He's a smart basketball player. He can get his own shot. He can distribute to others. And then, by the way, you have the brains of Draymond Green, which what kind of asset is that over the course of a 7-game playoff series? Pretty good ones you've seen throughout the last decade. So I think this is a great win for the Warriors. I think this game, not the 95-85 aspect of it. I think that caught a lot of us off guard. But listen, I said coming into the series, Golden State's going to jump out on top to start. Nab game 1, nab home court advantage. Houston's going to respond in game 2. For the record, listen, I'm not going to sit up here and act like the series is over, even though between you and me, I kind of think it is. But Houston's going to win game 2, I think, probably by 10, 12 points. They're the desperate team. They're the 2 seed. I'm not going to shortcut them. I think they'll win game 2. Warriors will take 3 and 4. Houston probably takes 5. Golden State closes them out in 6. That was my prediction coming into the series, and that's how I feel today. Now, if I'll say this, and this is an interesting note going into game 2, is that because when people are panicking about, the rest for Golden State, they're not going to be rested for the playoffs. They play the play-in game against Memphis, 4 days off before Houston. Game 1, 2 days off. Game 2, 2 days off. Then you get to game 3, and then it's every other day from that the rest of the series. But the Warriors are going to get their rest in the early stages of the series. So I didn't think that was a question. But with the rest component and with the component of we won game 1, we're good. We've nabbed home court, we're good. Whereas Houston, it is if they know if they go down 0-2 to the Golden State Warriors with the series shifting back to San Francisco, forget about it. Series is over. It's a wrap. And on the Warriors side, it's an element of we're good. We've got home court. We're rested. This is probably the first game. Listen, it's a playoff game, so it has consequence, obviously. But this is the first game for the Warriors in probably a month where there's not like the playoff implications. We need to get this game. As opposed to if you lose game 2, okay, as long as we come out healthy, okay, we're good. We're good. We got the split. Let's go home. Let's get the next 2. Let's go up 3-1 and have a stranglehold on the series. So, listen, but the whole, I'll tell you, I got so bothered. Not, by the way, not just at the Curry stopper thing. The whole, man, listen, there's certain guys, if you rough Steph up, he'll really struggle. Yeah, he struggled on his way to 31. But not just roughing Steph up on offense, but going after him on defense. Did you see the stat today? Because I read this. I saw this on Twitter. And, listen, it's not everything you can see on there is necessarily true, but found it notable that Rockets players shot 4 for 16 from the field when guarded by Steph Curry in game 1. This is the lowest mark for any defender so far in the playoffs. This is what I've always said about Steph. Nobody's going to mistake the man for Tony Allen, to say the very least. But when people have acted like he's a darn cone on defense, like he's Luka or something, I've taken exception to that. Steph can defend, not that well, but he can. It's not an automatic bucket when you go after him. And certainly in this game, Houston couldn't score. And you saw Houston taking early shots on the shot clock, and the Warriors were going to play with pace. We're going to slow the game down. That's how Jimmy likes to play. Steph can get good looks. So, and by the way, the role players, Moody hits a big 3. Pajemski doing what he does with the winning plays there at the end. The tip to Draymond Green late was huge. Like just a team that's been there, that's done that knows how to win these games. And listen, Ime Udoka's a great coach, but, that was a kind of put his foot in his mouth a couple weeks ago when he was talking about, when you get in their heads after a while, you're not getting in Steph Curry's head. If you are, it's in a bad way that's going to hurt you in the end. And that's what happened last night with the Golden State Warriors. So listen, I know everybody loved the Rockets. I understand it. I didn't appreciate, though. Everybody agrees, obviously, Steph's the best player in the series. I didn't appreciate the whole, okay, Steph's the best player, and then Şengün's the second best player. I'm like, well, Şengün's the second best player in the regular season between these two teams. Jimmy Butler's the second best player in the series. So, listen, I hear about Şengün. Listen, you can have Şengün, Work Zoom, Cartoon, Warriors in 6. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.